We're here today to learn about the Central PA Chamber of Commerce, and I will let my fellow panelists introduce themselves. I'm James Black.
Hi, I am TJ Ike, President and CEO of the Central Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, I'm Ryan Workman, Communications Director for the Central PA Chamber of Commerce.
I am Jessica Beaver, Finance and Membership Director for the Central PA Chamber of Commerce.
Great. So I have some questions. We're going to go through what a chamber is and just let you enlighten the audience as to what you actually do as opposed to what people think you do. So first question is the Chamber of Commerce part of the government, and how is it funded?
Well, we are not a part of the government, and we are not funded by anyone except for ourselves. A Chamber of Commerce is a 501c6, not to be confused with the C3. So we don't get grants, we don't get funding from the government, we hold events, we charge a membership, we are a membership organization. So, that's one of the biggest misconceptions, that we are government. Do you guys have anything to?
Sure. We do have a C3 component to the Chamber, the Business and Education Association, which is the educational outreach portion of the Chamber. We put on programming such as seminars and trainings, our Raising the Board program, and invite local students to some of our events and help facilitate job fairs.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing that I would add was that we do have contacts with government agencies and our local elected officials and everything too, so that we can connect them with our members if they need anything.
So there's cooperation between government and your functions. So how big does a business have to be to join the chamber?
I'll let Jessica, as the membership coordinator, this is a great question and a lot of misconceptions.
You can be as small or as big as you want to belong to the Chamber of Commerce. We have individual memberships. So friend of the chamber is any individual, usually they're retired individuals or even students that want to get the news as far as what we're doing each month. So you can do that. Small businesses, anywhere from 0 to 5 employees, all the way up to over 150 employees. We have nonprofit agencies. We currently serve over 100 nonprofit agencies in the region, and government entities as well too, and religious organizations. So big or small.
We even have individuals who just join because they want to enjoy some of the benefits of the chamber, who are retired or former members of other organizations that closed or left the area or something and aren't members anymore.
Yeah, a lot of volunteering opportunities for those that don't have a business affiliation. Mm-hmm. So that's something that really makes a good opportunity for folks if they want to be connected and find ways to meet other people.
So what are the benefits?
There's tons.
You get to be on.
I get to be on the hot mic here. So benefits, really, how I always like to address people when they come in and they ask us what the benefits are and stuff. We have tons of benefits that I could spend a whole day on. But what we like to do is really curtail it to the individual business itself too, and see what they're actually looking to. So if they need marketing or advertising, then we have the different benefits for that are included with their membership or come at, maybe a little extra cost depending on that. If they're looking for networking, so events that we have coming up, if they're, you guys can jump in anytime here. Help me out.
We're a repository of information. So when somebody needs something, the first number you should call is the chambers. I need a plumber. I need help setting up a website. Whatever it might be, a business, nonprofit, we can key you into who can help you out with those things, because we have almost 650 members now who specialize in all kinds of things.
Yeah, our big number one thing is to be a resource center for the businesses and for the general public in our region. So whatever they may need. I mean, for example, I planned a wedding and every single vendor in my wedding was a chamber member that I was able to get right off the website and contact them and use that. Ryan did a house, bought a house and was able to use basically every vendor through that process that we have as a member. So that's our main goal, is just to get those resources out there and let people know that they don't have to go to the big corporations or order something offline from out of state or something like that, that we have all the
work with local
options,
businesses then,
that they can use.
Yeah, and our membership graphic area as far as
I was
where
about to ask that.
Yeah, a lot of folks think that you have to be in Milton or near our office, and that's quite the contrary. We have members, and he said over 650 members presently, but over 8 states typically are represented, and over 90 plus zip codes. So we also offer services that maybe businesses just don't have the time to research or can't afford. We offer credit card processing opportunities and discounts, health insurance quotes, so all those different things. A couple times a year we do headshots. Maybe you have a business and you need to update your headshots, but we try to take the pain out of a lot of those things, and we do it for you. Seminars and trainings we hold in-house. We connect you with your legislators 4 times a year and hold an event where you can meet with those in office and let them hear your concerns and so forth. So we try to make sure we have a facility that our members can use. So maybe you need a place to conduct a meeting, interviews, trainings. You can use our facility 24/7. But we also have a lending program. So we use our investments to try to help spur business and economic development in the region. So we have that. So as Jess said, we couldn't ever cover it all. We typically start with a business. What is your pain points? What are you trying to accomplish that you can't? Do you need employees? Do you what are the services? Do you need a sign? Is your signage really poor? All these different things we kind of can lay out and help them. We publish a monthly magazine that Ryan does, an online site as far as our magazine is concerned. So it's as little or as big as you make it. And I like to say when you join a chamber, it's like joining the gym. If you never interact, participate, come in the door, we really can't help you. We like to get to know you and know what you need and how we can help you succeed and stay successful.
Communication is key. That's what I tell everybody when they come in and they join is if you don't communicate with us, then we can't read your mind. We don't know exactly. We might be able to find a story, but usually by the time we read something about your business, it's too late to do anything about it.
So it's not a cookie cutter kind of situation.
No.
It's very...
No, it's
We're very personal.
Yeah.
We like to say our business is your business, and we truly mean that.
Yeah.
What kinds of events do you do? You said meeting legislators. I have been to one of the breakfasts, for example. So,
Okay.
I mean, just what kinds of events, though?
Yeah.
In addition to that.
So we have legislative events, which I was referring to 4 times a year. We try to seek out whom we don't typically see. We have some great local representation in all the, avenues of government, but we get to see them regularly. They're very accessible. So we try to bring the folks that we don't get to see. Like our newly elected state attorney general is actually going to be with us for breakfast next Friday, I believe. So, he's going to be there. We don't typically get to see him. So we like to bring the folks in that are hard to get in touch with, like the treasurer. She came last year, and so we try to do those. But things that people really need that no one's addressing, reentry. We're having a seminar coming up about reentry and how important it is to give second chances. Everyone needs employees, and we all are trying to pull from the same group of employees. And there's this whole platform of employees that never get that opportunity. And so there's benefits from the state and the government to give somebody a second chance. So we connect those types of education, mental health awareness in the workplace. We're going to be recognizing later this year as well. So we try to do the things that everyone else is doing. AI, you can find 15 seminars, scheduled all over the place for AI.
Right.
But what are the things that no one's touching that our members, we stay in touch with our members, and what do you need? What can we bring to you? Some leadership training later this year. So we try to make it very unique to what they need. And we partner. We're partnering with Penn College of Technology. You can take some of their courses online. You can visit our website and get a discount and an offer to a bunch of those courses as well. So we're all about trying to partnership, connections, and just what do you need? What do you need? We'll try to bring it to you.
We also have the fun and typical events too. So we do breakfast briefings each month. So that's limited to 30 people in attendance. Everybody gets to do an elevator pitch, kind of introduce themselves, go around the room and do that. They get breakfast. They get to, sometimes it's offsite, sometimes it's at the chamber. So you get different reactions that way. Inside job stores. So that just gives you a more in-depth look at different businesses around the region and what they do on a daily basis. Fun events like we were talking about earlier, our mashed potato and martini event that we did at the Rusty Rails. So just a fun kind of get out of the office
an interesting combination.
and hang out. We're actually doing a tour here later this year for breweries around the area and stuff, ones that aren't really right next door, that people might not have heard of yet and stuff. So you get to come on a bus, basically a limo bus, and hang out with us for a day and go and tour the area.
Sip and see.
Yep, sip and see tour.
Saturday, August 9th.
It's our marketing guy right there that needs to has all the dates memorized.
It's like all in
Not
his,
all of them, not all.
in his little calendar in his mind.
But yeah, so different events for every person that, depending on what you need or which employees you want to send there. Sometimes it's, and what people don't realize too is that when your business joins the chamber, it's all of your employees get the benefits of that chamber membership. So they can attend events. They can do that all in the umbrella of your chamber membership. It's not just the primary contact, the owner of the business or something. They can send their employees, their volunteers, if they're a nonprofit, staff, those types. They can all come to events and be able to partake in that and use the chamber benefits.
So if I say I'm not a member, because I'm not a member, but I came to an event and I wanted to join, can I join then?
Yep.
Absolutely.
On site?
And we're very open to the fact that we let non-members come to all of our events. It might be free or a very nominal fee for a member, and you might pay a little extra to come just because we are a membership organization and we reserve those things for our members first. But a lot of folks will come to one or two events as a non-member. They'll see our facility, they'll meet the staff, they'll see the type of atmosphere and, all the new contacts they can make, and they can hop online and join, fill out the application in a matter of minutes and pay online. So we try to make it very accessible as well.
And another great feature of being a member of the chamber, if you don't have a storefront or physical presence in the area, is you can still make yourself known to the members of the chamber by advertising with us, sponsoring events. There's multiple avenues for people to associate your name and business with what you do, even if you can't be there in person.
Mm-hmm. So this is not a networking with the old boys club kind of thing.
No.
Not at all. One thing you'll really find, so being a nonprofit, we have to find ways to, other than membership. Membership does not sustain our organization because it's a very affordable membership for 12 months at a time. So we have to find other avenues, seminars and trainings and, events and things like that. So by doing that, we're very conscientious that we make sure all of our funds stay within, and we try to continually to upgrade our building, make it more accessible and, more modern. But as far as having events after hours with, some alcoholic beverages, we all enjoy that on our own time. But we have come to realize from our members that when folks attend those events, you kind of gravitate to those that in your common circles, throw back a few drinks that are free, have some free food and go home. You don't really broaden your networking for your business. You've not really made any new contacts. All of our events are typically held during the business day. We found our members appreciate that. Their employees appreciate that because they have their families and other activities, so they want to do it during work hours. So our golf tournament, of course, has some beverages. Sometimes, like we're doing the Sip and See tour, we're not opposed to that, but we don't spend our money on that as far as the organization's hard-earned funds and the members' donations. So, we don't do those after-hours, just kind of cliquey events. Most events, you have that opportunity to introduce yourself to the entire group of attendees, which is not very common. You typically go somewhere, you have to kind of push your way into groups, just get a quick handshake and that's it. So I say the magic happens after an event, especially a breakfast event where we host it in-house. The event closes, we can say, thank you for coming. We're cleaning up and people are staying, 20 minutes, a half an hour, 45 minutes after. Can I set a meeting up in this room and meet with this new person I just met? So networking happens, but it doesn't have to be after hours with alcoholic beverages.
And you're trying to get people to meet new people as opposed to just
Correct.
recirculate with the folks they already know.
And the other thing is too with the Good Old Boys Club is that every member has the opportunity to use all of the benefits. We don't pick and choose by how much money you spent in the chamber or what you don't pay to play, basically, is what what we're saying. And that goes to show with our board of directors. It's the nominations come in from the membership. The membership votes for who they want on the board at the chamber. So if you want to throw your name in the hat, basically, to be on the board, you can do that no matter how big or small your business is, or if you're an individual. that's the great thing with that. And just, the benefits are just there for everybody to use. And that's one thing that we hear a lot too, is that the smaller businesses are happy with the fact that they get the referrals too. It's not, oh, there's somebody needs this service, we're going to give it to the bigger company. No, everybody that falls into that category gets that referral. So then it's up to you, the ball's in your court, to reach out to that person and try and get the business. So
Do you have, I'm just curious, do you have, I don't know, program or a way that you work with new business owners? Say, I know that some chambers have like for young professionals, but it seems like a lot of people later in their careers are starting businesses. They're getting out of their, having a regular job and they're trying to start their side hustle or new business. How would you help that person?
So we recommend, a lot of folks will come to us first, and we don't, even though we would love to have you as a member, if you're not ready yet, we want to put you in the position to be ready. So for instance, we work strongly with the Bucknell SBDC. A lot of folks will be working with them. We give them a discount. So if you're working with the SBDC, you can join our organization at a discount. We do that with a lot of other organizations as well. We call it a partnership offer. So we try to let folks know that when you start out, there's so many things that you need and you can't afford them all. And we don't want you to have to cut something out. So we give you a discount we can help you as well. But we want to put you in the right order. We don't want you to come to us if you don't already have a business plan and you don't already have what you're doing.
Right.
We put you into connection, like Jessica referred earlier. We're a resource center. So we won't just take your money and say, well, you don't have a business, but we will put you in touch with who could help you get your business off the ground. And then, hopefully you'll remember and come back and we can help you take it to the next level.
that's, I think, the one thing with with the Central PA Chamber of Commerce is too, is that we like to say, we want you to be on the road to already, like, you're already established. And then, so you go see something like the SBDC to get your business established. And then you come see us to help grow your business. So that's the one thing too, is that there's so many resources and so many businesses and nonprofit agencies that help out with that process, that we don't want to just be like taking over everything and trying to do everything ourselves. We want to make sure that the members that we have that specialize in these are the ones getting the business.
Yeah.
So then they can come back to us and be like, okay, I have all this now. You guys help me out with it. What are the next steps?
We
to
do
keep
have
growing and establishing
a great leadership program that Ryan could speak on, how we help people that need to learn to be a board member for a
Okay.
nonprofit.
Right, so-
very unique.
After you get your business going, we have the seminar and training series to fill in those gaps you might be missing. But for nonprofits in particular, the Raising the Board class, which was developed in-house and is unique to the Central PA Chamber of Commerce, is specifically for nonprofit board members or prospective board members to learn how to be a good board member. A lot of people get asked to serve on boards with no formal training, and that's what this aims to accomplish. And we have a class coming up on May 21st, and there'll be another one in September.
Are these for a particular organization, or is it just open to whomever?
So we try to customize the class to who is attending. And the class uses the Socratic method to learn from each other. So we have several subject matter experts who are the course facilitators, but they basically plan the day around who's there so that they
Okay.
get the most bang for their buck.
I think a lot of people end up in leadership positions that they don't know how to lead.
Right.
They're like, it's like the boot or
Yeah.
the reward for
Or you
what
can do a small group, like you
Yeah.
can lead like a couple people, but when it gets to a larger group, you get lost in the shuffle
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Like,
So
what do I
you're just
do?
confused as far
Yeah.
as how am I gonna, because then most people think of it as like, oh, I don't want to boss people around,
Right.
But you can't think of it with that mindset, because if you have a room full of 20 people and all of them are trying to be a leader, basically, then you have issues in that sense too,
Right.
because everybody's just talking over each other and you never get anything
and this
accomplished.
is an opportunity for you to say, I don't know what I'm doing yet,
Yeah.
but I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to learn. Yeah.
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 It's trying to be a solution. Most of what the Central PA Chamber does is a solution to different issues that we've seen. And Raising the Board came about because we were heartbroken every time we would see one of our nonprofits, whether it was a religious organization, sometimes even for-profits, maybe a sewer authority, different organizations that had a board of maybe 12, 15, 20 people who were looking at financials every month and signing off. And then all of a sudden, we've been getting skimmed of money for the last 10 years, and no one raised their hand and asked a question. So one of the key components of why we started this training was people need to know if you're approving financials, you need to look at them. Your name is on the line. You're actually a fiduciary responsible person of this organization, not just taking a seat to conduct a board meeting.
Yeah.
So that's one of the very heavy points of that training. And then just how to run a meeting and, what is needed. And tell folks, don't be afraid to ask a question, because typically if you're asking the question, most of the people in the room have the same question, but no one wants to ask it.
Yeah.
So this training is something that we have really took pride in. We're, I think, almost to 100 graduates so far.
Oh, wonderful.
And then when organizations are having a turnover on a board or need new board members, they'll call us and say, do you have any graduates from your class?
Yeah.
And that's really great, because we've had an organization recently that called us and said, we're rebuilding, and they asked someone, you're a great person, would you be the president of our board? And she called me and said, I've never even been on a board. They want me to be the president. I don't know the first thing. Can I come to one of your classes?
Yeah.
So that's what it's meant, to give people the tools and the resources. And then they make those connections with other people and other boards. Nonprofits, even as ours, is a lonely world sometimes. And so it is nice for them to make those connections across other nonprofits through that class and be able to roll things off of each other and have forever contacts. Even the subject matter experts that we use are relatable. Mm-hmm. And they actually stay in touch with our class attendees and our resources after the fact.
I also wanted to touch on Raising the Board in particular is a day-long class, but all of our events at centralpachamber.com/events have a beginning time and an end time, because they take place during the workday,
Right.
and we want to be conscientious of your time because you have to get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, we always make sure we end on time. It's one of our things we pride ourselves with. If you want to stay after, so be it. But if your boss sent you and you're only supposed to be here till 2, we're going to end at 2.
Yeah.
We have a solicitor that will tell you that is the case.
Like, that training needs to get out to every organization, I think.
And we don't
so-
have events or meetings just to have events or meetings. They have to have a purpose. They have to impact your bottom line. There has to be a return of investment. It's not just because we had a spot on the calendar and we needed to pencil something in.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your best kept secret?
Well, I don't think there are any, because that is the one thing I hate the most. So you hate to use the word hate. When a business says we're the best kept secret, how does that serve you by being a secret? No, nothing's a secret with us. If we know that your business is doing this or doing that or trying to do this, trying to do that, everybody knows we're going to talk about it. We're going to promote you. So we try hard to make sure things that maybe I don't want to call them secrets. Maybe you're just not completely aware. So every month we feature a Did You Know? And we try to continually educate you on, did you know that you can do this? Did you know that we offer this? But we don't want anything to be a secret. We're very transparent. That's another thing people appreciate about us. Mm-hmm. Some of the hard times, like maybe you have a restaurant and someone had a horrible experience. They didn't tell you as the restaurant owner.
Yeah.
They went out and slandered you elsewhere or told a bunch of people who are now all talking about it. I'll pick up the phone and call you and say, you do what you want, but you don't know. You can't fix what you don't know.
Right.
I want to bring this to your attention just so you know. And so we appreciate when folks do that to us, because we're not perfect and we can't do it all. And so when folks see something that we could do better, or maybe we should do differently or not do anymore, we open those conversations as well.
Okay.
I would say not a secret, but perhaps an unrealized fact to a certain extent, is that our marketing and advertising opportunities for our members, I believe, are far more beneficial for those businesses, because we track everything and we know when we put an ad or post an event in our magazine, on our website, etc., X number of clicks go there and then X number of people sign up. And we have a very good track record of selling out everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This year in particular, very prideful that most of our events, no matter whether it's a legislative event, an in-house breakfast, an inside jobs tour, a seminar and training, they've all been selling out 2 months in advance.
Wow.
Yeah, that is just incredible. But that is a testament to the team that we're doing what people are asking for. We're not just doing an event to do it or because we're fond of it. We're doing what people want and what they're asking for.
And it's all about the preparation too. If you're not on our calendar about 2 months in advance, you're too late.
So not secrets, but unintended secrets, maybe is what we're talking about.
It's just different things
Stuff
that
people
come
should
up.
know.
Yeah, people should know, and just to keep an eye out for it. I mean, I always tell people too when they're joining that if we post something for you on our social media, it's not just, a lot of people think, oh, it's just, whoever belongs to the chamber is following you guys on social media. My whole family follows the Central PA Chamber. So that's, getting outside of businesses and everything like that. That's general public that is following us and everything and seeing what we're doing and commenting on those and, not realizing. I mean, that's one thing all of us do too, is we all have our own social media pages and we belong to different groups on there and stuff like that. So if we see something, I don't know how many times we sit there and say, hey, call the Central PA Chamber if you need this. People asking for suggestions, they need those resources. I mean, that's what we're doing constantly as well too, behind the scenes, that people don't realize is it's not just us sitting at our desk on our computers, planning another event or doing anything like that. We're constantly researching and looking at all those channels for our members as well too, to see what's coming up, what needs to happen, what's going on out there, what are people asking for. So yeah.
Our work isn't limited by the number of opportunities, it's limited by the number of hours in a day.
And if he asks me one more time for more hours in a day,
You can't make that happen.
I make a lot of stuff happen.
She
but
does.
That's not one of them.
Extending the day hours in the day. Okay. Well, gosh, that's a lot of information. A lot of it sounds like very helpful services that you have. Anything else you'd want to throw in?
We don't publish the phone book. We're not the Better Business Bureau. You got all these things that people think that a Chamber of Commerce is. One huge misconception is that all the chambers are connected. We're not a franchise. We're all independent, standalone nonprofits. While we're all membership organizations and 501c6, we all operate differently. And that's what's a beautiful thing. If you want the PM exchange, the evening events, those kinds of things, there are organizations who primarily focus on that. If you want an organization that, kind of does things a little more political, endorses folks, gives opportunities for people running for office to speak, there's organizations who do that. We are very focused and we stay true to our vision and mission and our bylaws. And so, we don't like to recreate the wheel. If there's something already there, even with other businesses, if they're a member of the chamber and we think about a service that we would like to offer, if someone else currently does, we'll chat with them and maybe help promote them, but we don't want to recreate the wheel. We want to stay true to what we do well and who we are. We're working on a new strategic plan that we have a very new approach on this, and we're really excited. So folks will be hearing from us from all avenues, whether they're a member, a non-member, a former member, a citizen, a government official. So we are working on that so that we can make sure that we continue to do what we need to do. That is the whole purpose. Without the members, there's no organization, and we need to make sure. I encourage our board and our volunteers and the team all the time that what we do is for the members, not for us. Members come first. Members are our priority, and so that is how we stay successful, because we stay member-centric and member-focused. And you have to have staff, that has a servant mind. With what we do with the three of us as being the team is quite incredible. And folks don't realize that we can do it all internally, and we try to call on our members and give them business. If we need a service, carpet cleaning, we use a member. Window cleaning, we use a member. Computer work, we use a member. We host an event, we need flowers, we use a member. So it's a big circle. And I always like to say the Central PA Chamber is like a family. We send note cards if someone lost a loved one, if someone had a great, award given to them, and we'll send them these cards. And, it takes extra time out of the day, but it's those touches and impacts that make a difference, because we really do care. We are very personable.
So you're not ordering from some big box online.
No. And when we hear you are, we really try hard to convert you.
Right.
I was actually a member of the board before I became a staff member, and I wasn't even interested in changing jobs at the time. but the board was asked to update the job description to advertise it. And after I got involved in that, I thought, I love the environment and the culture that is at the Central PA Chamber so much. I think I would really enjoy working here. So that's what inspired me to become a part of the team.
My history is customer service and financials basically through my whole working career, and I loved it. And I honestly didn't even know what the Chamber of Commerce was when I filled out the application and sent my resume in. I thought it was government. So it was really nice when I went in and sat, and I've been with the Chamber for 7 years now, and I love it. It's both of the things that I love to do. I love to do financial stuff, and I love customer service and working face to face with members. So I get to have both titles, in my job, and I get to work with the members every day. And then I also get to spend, a day or two behind the scenes, basically handling all the financial stuff, for the chamber and going through invoices and everything like that. So yeah, it's the best of both worlds. But yeah, it's amazing just to see the individual. I didn't realize either how many members I worked with on a on a day-to-day basis in my everyday life, between insurance and mortgages and everything like that, just going through all that information and realizing, wow, I do a lot of business with a lot of members, so this is pretty nice. So,
and it was the inverse for me. I knew exactly what a Chamber of Commerce was or should be, because I managed chamber relationships with multiple chambers for former employees. So I wouldn't want to work for the other ones. We'll put it that way.
We will guarantee when you call, you get a real person, and those are the things. You stop in unannounced, we'll drop everything and sit down and meet with you. And so, it's that thing that we take things very seriously and very personable.
Yep.
That sounds kind of amazing.
Ryan, do you remember how many referrals we made?
It was around 750.
Okay.
Referrals of what?
Our whole entire membership directory is online, accessible to anybody, but to be on the directory, obviously, you have to be a member.
Right.
When somebody calls or emails us asking for a referral, we can make those in the office, but you also have the ability to refer members online yourself, simply by looking them up on the online directory.
So if you go to the directory, there's a send a referral. Basically, it's an email-based referral system. So if you have that person's email that's looking for the referral, put that in. And that's the great thing about our referral service, too, is that we have our directory broken down into categories. So if they're looking for a certain category, everybody that is listed in that category gets that referral. Then so the member actually will get a notification as well that they just got referred, and they'll get that person's email so that they can reach out to that person and say, I saw that you just got referred to me, that what kind of service you need, and we can put a note in there saying what the person's looking for, or they can just reach out themselves and do that.
If I knew somebody was looking for lawn care, I would
You could go right on our
refer the category to them.
Yep.
And everybody in the category?
Everybody in the category will get a notification, and then that's why we say the ball's in your court. So what you do with that referral once you get it is up to you. But if you come back to us and say, I haven't gotten any business by being a member of the chamber, we can actually track those referrals too. So we can go on, do a report and say, well, we referred your business, 20 times.
Yeah.
This time, at this point in time, this date and everything, what did you do with those referrals? And the answers are sometimes shockingly it's very disappointing sometimes. So we've actually worked on getting the word out to our members on how do they use those referrals and what they need to do.
And we have a seminar coming up, referrals to revenue.
Yeah.
So we have somebody who is excellent at handling referrals, has a protocol for their entire business staff. And so he's going to come in and teach our members that want to come in and learn that if you're referred, what do you do next? How do you turn that into revenue?
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Send your sales staff.
So So there are rights and responsibilities, it sounds like, with
It's with them.
Just-
Like
yeah.
TJ said with the gym membership, if you don't go, then you
Right.
can't be upset at what you look like in the mirror, basically.
yeah, I've been paying
With-
$10 at Planet Fitness
Yeah.
for 6 months, but I haven't gone.
Yeah, I pay $15 a month to go to the gym basically
Yeah.
every month. And if I don't go every month or I don't, make an effort to do anything, then I'm not going to see results from it. If you pay for a chamber membership, and this is not every month, this is once a year, and it's a 12-month service. So if you never communicate with us, if you never show up to anything, if you never do anything, then you only have yourself to blame basically at the end of it when it comes time to renew.
Yeah.
If we've, we've tried to reach out to you, we've tried to do this, we've tried, send you referrals, we've sent you resources that we think would be beneficial to you, and you just don't respond or don't use them, then that's a whole different story. And you only have yourself to blame when it comes to that, because there's tons of resources for you. So
It sounds like it.
And we're constantly educating our members on that. We print 2 publications for people to review all of their benefits and opportunities. And Jessica teaches a quarterly seminar and training event specifically on all the benefits for members. There's one coming up, I believe, on May 7th.
yep.
Yeah. I think the one big misconception when we talk to somebody who wants to join, they'll say, well, I don't have the time, or I can't come to events. You don't need to do either of those. We're your extra unpaid employees. So if you don't have the time, that's fine. We're here to take burdens off of your plate to give you time. So what are some of your hurdles? What can we do? And you don't have to. I said we had members in 8 states. You don't have to come physically to our office to benefit. One of our most profitable members is headquartered in Florida, and they're not coming to breakfast events, and yet they continuously support the chamber in a magnitude of ways, because their service is something that they don't have to be here to do. They advertise, they market, they give discounts. A lot of our members give discounts to one another. So there's member-to-member discounts. We also post the jobs. So maybe your company is hiring. We post the jobs for you as well. Nowadays, folks don't read the classifieds. They go on Indeed or whatnot. You post the jobs on our site. We see somebody looking for employment. We direct them to that. So there's so many hidden things that we do that aren't meant to be hidden, and that's why we keep trying to share them. But yeah, I think there's something for everyone. It's just a matter of what you put into it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's so much that people maybe don't know where to begin, but they should just give you a call.
Yeah, and that's why we have a member success guide that Ryan referred to. We have this beautiful guide that it tells you, month 1, what should I try to do? So you have some focal points to check off and make sure that you do, but we stay in touch with you and make sure that you have what you need. And do you feel like you're getting lost in the weeds? Some folks don't want to come to an event by themselves,
Right.
So we'll try to find you a buddy. So yeah, we're very hands-on, very personable.
Great. So how do people get a hold of you?
Phone, email, stop in the office,
Social media.
social media. There's every single way you can. I haven't seen a carrier pigeon yet, but I mean, you could, I guess.
Yeah, it's Central PA Chamber, and it's www.centralpachamber.com, or you can call 570-742-7341. You can stop in. You can find us on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn with some of the chamber's things that are happening. And Ryan also does all of our other social media posts, so you can reach out there if you don't have another way, and it alerts us, and we'll reach out to you personally. And stopping in. We ask that you call before you stop, because we might be conducting a big event. We might already
Right.
have somebody there. We don't want to waste your time, but call and make sure that you can sit down with us, and you can meet with any one of us at any time.
30 Lawton Lane, Milton, Pennsylvania.
Yep,
All right.
right in front of the state police barracks. So we have
a very secure office.
Secure location.
You're very safe with the chamber.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes.